Well, hello, my friends. Welcome to Intuitive Insights with Emmanuel Dagher.
Hello, hello. How's everyone doing? Hopefully, you're having an amazing week.
Yes, and Dawn Johnston here with you as well. We are super excited to be here today to talk to you about our intuitive insights for the week or for the couple of weeks. And super excited also that there's some energy shifts happening. So we're going to kick it right off. Emmanuel, we're going to start with you and what you've been noticing and experiencing and been aware of, and what are the insights you have for our viewers this week?
Thank you so much. Well, first of all, I'm so grateful for everyone tuning in, and I'm also grateful for you, Sunny. What I've noticed recently is we're being given the opportunity, and I like to call it revisiting our old friends. And the way that that shows up sometimes is it doesn't have to be a person. It could be even things that you thought you've overcome and or you overcame, and it comes back around to show you how far you have come. So that could be one thing. It could actually be somebody in your life that you haven't seen in a while. They kind of come back into your life. It could be just for a season. It could be for a long period of time going forward. But there's something coming to the surface right now where a lot of the old, it's kind of like helping us to go back and almost like take a stroll down memory lane, see how far we've come. That's something that I've noticed, especially just within my experience. One of the other things that I've noticed is a lot of spontaneity, a lot of like spontaneous energy. So if you are somebody who likes to always be in control, this could be really hard for you. But if you're someone who goes with the flow, it is something that is definitely something that you enjoy. So just notice, and if you are having a hard time because, things might come up and you weren't expecting it, or it wasn't on your to-do list, or it wasn't on your radar, just be gentle with yourself. Move, ebb and flow, because trying to control it is not going to really serve you. So just that's one thing. And then one other thing is really the energy of confidence, and we talked about it last time. There's this fire kind of coming to the surface, but that right now is really transpiring as confidence, stepping into your power and leadership. So making decisions, and leadership doesn't mean you have to be the leader of a company or a leader of a family. It's more about really stepping up and making decisions for yourself that are actually going to make a great impact for you moving forward. And sometimes we have to make those decisions. Sometimes they're not easy, sometimes they are easy, but just being aware that right now we're being given the opportunity to really step up, to rise into our leadership role in our own life and make some of those decisions, and some maybe not easy decisions, that we have to let go of certain things and step into new things. So what about you, Sunny? What are you experiencing right now or
I
noticing?
loved some of the things you said because they're similar, and I think some of you that have been on social media have known that a couple of weeks ago was my birthday, and so when you spoke about spontaneity, here's something coming from an ex control freak. Is that they did a surprise party and it was a scavenger hunt, and like I had to be all dressed up, but I didn't know what I was doing, and it was super spontaneous. And there was a part of me that if that would have happened 30 years ago, I would have been in huge resistance. Like, wait, where are we going? What are we doing? Because I just like to plan, and I like to follow the plan, and I like to know exactly what was next and the next step and the next step, right? And I like to be in control of all of it. And I think that that really speaks to, like for me, it speaks to my expansion, right? My growth and my healing, because I was the whole thing was super exciting, and I didn't care about it. Like, I'm just like, cool, whatever. It's all the people I love and it's fun. But I know how I was. And so that spontaneity that you're talking about leads right into that next part of you, which is kind of revisiting those old challenges or those old dynamics within yourself and maybe in the people around you. And actually, that's the topic that really I wanted to bring to light and to talk about, that I'm observing, and I think people need to be mindful of right now. Is we know that we just went into Mercury retrograde, and so a lot of times there can be some challenges, and it's kind of looking deeper. And what I've observed and what my sense is for this next couple of weeks is that I think challenges, fears, old energy is absolutely coming up. And in that old energy and those challenges, fears, old people, things like old stories, things like that, we're having an opportunity to clean it up in a different way, in a more conscious, intentional way. I think a lot of us in the past, I don't know about you, Manuel, but for me, a lot of what I would do is I would avoid, I would push down, or I'd run. Like, let me just figure out which way I can get away from this, right? And so now I feel like I want to remind all of you that this is an opportunity to clean it up in a way that you are consciously aware of that you can. You have different tools now. You have different awareness now. So if somebody from the past is coming into your life, you can actually have a conversation, and you can use that courage and be brave and step into that instead of going to what we fall back to, which is, the training. And I've recognized that there are many people that are also having their past come up through things that either they didn't take care of that they now need to take care of, or things that have been unresolved in relationships or left undone or unspoken, that really it's time. And it's time to do it in an intentional, conscious, aware, which might even be a little bit scary, frequency, because if we don't, it will be there in a month and a year. It'll still be there. And so what I want to suggest to all of you is that if something is coming up right now, it's meant for you to experience now and to deal with today. And this can be good things too. Like, for example, I was cleaning out my office closet, and do you guys know or remember when we didn't have digital stuff? Like, we didn't have digital pictures. We had, everything was on discs. Well, first it was on tapes, right? Then when it was on tapes, I had all those tapes put to discs. Well, now I just found all of these discs that have been in a container in my closet, which I just haven't gone through. And I'm like, I don't need discs anymore. I don't even have a machine to play a disc, right? So I had to borrow one from Chris and say, hey, can you give me something to plug this in so I can see what's even on these? I found pictures and videos from when my son was born. He's 27. I've never seen. And so it can be good things too, but it's time to do something with those, not just let them sit in the closet. Bring them back, move that energy. And so whichever place you find yourself, if you're on the side of, oh, I got some shit to deal with, or if you find yourself on the, oh, cool, this is exciting. Either way, it's time to be intentional and conscious and present and move the energy, do something with it. And so I really agree with you. And it's funny because we tend to be on the same page in so many different ways. And if you look at us, we're pretty different people, right? He's a man, I'm a woman, I'm 20 years older, like all of the things. And there is a frequency that we can give you different perspectives of. We use different words, and it's the same energy. So my hope, Emmanuel, and I'm so glad that we're doing this, because my hope really is that if you can hear it through Emmanuel, great. If you can hear it through me, great. Or any of the other teachers out in the world, and that you know that you're supported, and you know that you're not alone, and you know that we're right here with you. This last 2 weeks, this week was one of the hardest weeks I've gone through in a lot of years personally. And not for me personally, but holding the hand of someone that has had really severe challenges. And I feel very blessed to have the awareness that I have and the support system that I have. And so I just want to remind you all, if you're in it, you're in it, and just allow yourself to ask for help from spirit, the divine, and from the people that are around you, and clean up your side of the sidewalk. Clean it up.
Yep.
So
Beautiful. And having what you just shared, it is, when tough times happen and you are someone who is so committed to doing the work like you, Sunny, and so many who are watching, um, the challenge, although it still is a challenge, you have a different lens and you're able to navigate through it in a different way as you might have, let's say, 30, 20 years ago or whatnot. So if you are having a hard time right now, anyone watching, first of all, one thing that I used to kind of fall in myself is when you're doing the work, and when we talk about the work, it's just really about honoring the shadow parts and the parts that maybe you don't necessarily love about yourself. You like really love and embrace those parts of you and bring them into the moment with you in a way where you are the loving, almost like the loving parent to those aspects of you. And you do that over and over again until you can really get to a much better place with the relationship with yourself. But one thing that I used to fall in, and I don't know, maybe Sunny, you can relate to this or anyone watching, is you do the work, and then times like right now, the cycle we're in, where old kind of things come to the surface, and you almost feel a little bit defeated in the beginning because you're like, oh, rainbows and butterflies, things are going really great. And then all of a sudden, boom, you fall on the concrete and you're like, whoa, like I wasn't expecting that. And what I used to feel like, I felt like I was taking maybe 10 steps backwards, but you're not. You're not taking 10 steps backwards. You're just feeling things more deeply, first because you're more sensitive and in tune and aware of what's going on. So it feels more amplified. And the second thing is sometimes those kind of experiences come back to show us, first of all, how to look at things differently, like Sunny, you said, but also to honor the part of us that is human and that needs to still process or grieve or go through whatever they need to, so that we can love those parts of ourselves. We go back to the tool of just honoring that part of ourselves that maybe we pushed down or we hid or we didn't want to feel, and then welcome them into the present moment, love them so that they can heal. Have you noticed anything, or can you relate?
No, not at all.
you know
I think that, for me, the way that I look at it, and having lived a lot of life already, is that um I'm a different person each time that comes up. I'm a different person. I'm in the same body, but I'm a different being, right? I have different awareness. I have different background. I have different insights. I've had growth and expansion and all the things. So when that thing, whatever it is, comes back around, I think our initial sense is, what the hell? Like, what? Why am I going through this? I already dealt with this. This is what my response is. I already did this. I already know, right? And so the spirit's like, I don't think so. There's a little more to do. And that's all it is. There's just a little more to do. And so that layer, if I show up in who I am at that present time, whatever that is, and I do whatever the healing work is required of me at that time, and then we think, oh, well, then I'm done. No, you're done for now. Because nothing actually in this physical world is ever done. It's not done. Like the dishes, guys, the dishes are never done. The laundry, it's never done. The cleaning, it's never done. Like things aren't done. So it's the next layer. There's a layer. And in a minute, the dishes, there's going to be a layer of dishes. There's going to be a layer of laundry. There's always going to be. And so instead, and some people that might feel depressing. To me, it's like, oh, so you don't have to have the expectation that you're just going to get things done, because it's not going to be done. The healing work is there, and it's going to show up, and it's going to look a little different. And it's going to have different pictures around it. But then the next time it happens, 2 years, 6 months, 3 days later, whatever it is, you're a different person again. So you have different awareness, different tools. You have different resources, maybe to invite more help in. Maybe you have different community support. And each time that comes, and one time at some point, you'll be like, oh, that one is transmuted. That one is shifted. But guess what? I guarantee you there's something else that's going to start bubbling up. Great. That's the process. So I think that, in the beginning of my career for myself and my own healing journey, and even in my business, teaching others, I kind of thought the same way. I'd be like, okay, well, once we get through this, then great. That's not how it works, right? 50 years later, I can tell you it didn't work that way. And so when I let go of that expectation that I'm going to be done on some level, then I can embrace it and be like, okay, cool. This is just the next layer.
Mm, that's so good. That's so good, Sunny. And what is one word or just like one thing that you can share with our, friends and audience that can help them navigate this time right now? Like, what's something like, for me, the word grounding is coming in, just like really being in your body, being physically connected to the earth and working out and exercising and getting into your the word is just getting into your body, being here now, because a lot of people are kind of like, especially in the spiritual community, they're not really in their body. They're kind of like just above. So really coming and sinking deeply into your body, loving your body, seeing it as the spiritual extension of your spirit. So, or the physical extension of your spirit. So, what would you say right now that people can do to really help them navigate?
Well, I think it's the same, it's a different word, but it's the same thing. It's embodied. It's literally embodying the experiences. So not bypassing it with your mind, which I'm telling you, I'm an expert at. I'm really good at, like, I get it. I understand. I'm ready. Let's, okay, move on, right? And my journey, especially over probably the last 5 years, has been, well, maybe even 10 years, has really been to embody the experiences and the awarenesses and not bypass. And I'm not always good at that because I can be so aware here that I don't always let myself be aware here.
Mm,
Right. And so that embodiment, I think, is huge because without it, it's just the buildup. It's the laundry is piling up. And then
yeah.
there's more to do.
Mm,
Right. And it's heavier and it takes a lot more effort than if you deal with it as it comes and you embody it when it happens, whatever that situation is, in the light energy and fun energy, or in the heavy and dense energy, either side.
yes. Amazing. And everyone who's watching, let us know what you're doing right now to help you navigate through these energies. I know we see a lot of amazing comments and things. I've seen Paula and we've seen a few others who just are so supportive, and we are so grateful and we appreciate you so much. So, with that being said, enjoy the next few weeks. We are moving through a lot of intense energy still, a lot of fire. We talked about that last
On
time.
the fire. We're
A
still in
lot
the
of fire.
fire.
Absolutely. So take good care of yourself. Please make sure you check out Sunny's work, sunnydawnjohnston.com.
And Emmanuel's work, emmanueldagher.com. And comment, guys. We want to keep the conversation going in the comments so that we can see and hear from you. And so your voices are heard. So use your voice. Now's the time.
Have a beautiful day. Until next time, talk to you soon.
Thank you, friends.
Hey, my friend, if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe and comment. I'd love to hear from you. Have a miraculous day.